We got a gob of fish at 12 foot.
Right under the boat?
Oh yeah, I mean we're talking a gob.
Alright, we're going to do something a little bit different today. As you can tell, we're out on Ricky's yacht and we're chasing some bass with a surface popper and a streamer trailer. So what we're going to do is a lot more of these fishing tip videos. So if you like them, please tell me in the comments. Obviously hit a like and do a share. Obviously subscribe to the video, because we seem to be getting some positive feedback when we talk about gear and stuff. So that being said, let me get on to the tip part of this. What I'm using is a 9-foot 7-weight rod, fast action rod, and I'm casting in this right now. I kind of got a small popper. It's more of a bluegillish rock bass size, but there's some. But this time of year, there seems to be the smallmouths respond pretty good to it in this piece of water. And then drop it off from the bend to hook. I'm running a streamer. And I use some fairly heavy stuff, like 10, 12 pound. I think this case I got 15. Because it turns over and it keeps the tangling under control. My leader started out with 40 pound, and I think I'm down to 15, but it's only about a 5 or 6 foot leader. With these wind resistant flies, you want to have a short, stiff leader to turn it over. The other thing that really helps is the fly line. I think in this case I got a Cortland pike and muskie line on for a 7-weight, so it's a very short, aggressive weight forward, and it does a really good job of turning over those wind resistant flies and shoots them. The other nice thing is with that short head, you can fish closer to the boat, pick up 1 or 2 false casts, and you're back to fishing. So this is the rod it is, but the biggest thing is keep your leader short, 5-6 feet, keep them stiff. You're not going to spook these fish with heavy line because they're used to pounding stuff in the weeds, even though I got a little bit of a fluorocarbon front. And the reason why I'm running the fluorocarbon, it sinks a little bit and my popper is not as loud. If you want to have your popper a little bit loud, make sure you use all mono. It floats and doesn't pull your poppers down. So it's something you want to keep in mind with your leaders is, do I want to run regular monofilament or do I want to run fluorocarbon? Fluorocarbon is going to sink your surface poppers a little bit and change the pitch or the sound of the popper it makes. And then obviously my dropper, in this case I'm running a small streamer because there's a lot of bait around, to see if I can get a smallie that might not be interested in the popper to grab the little trailing streamer. If I was fishing bluegills, or if I thought they were really kind of crabby and just looking at things and not eating, I might go to a large nymph for a secondary fly, because sometimes one will attract the other, and then you can be a little bit more productive with 2 different shows in the same presentation. And obviously a nice light 9-foot 7-weight makes for turning it over. And then what I do is I just work to shoreline. I play around with my my cadence. For a presentation, what we're doing is we're working the shoreline. There's a sharp drop off, and so we're throwing up onto the shallow gravel, and then we're fishing off the drop offs. Anywhere we find some structure, like a downed tree or something like that, obviously working around that. But in this particular piece of water, the structure we're going to be working is subsurface drop-offs, right short off the shoreline. So we're just throwing up onto the shoreline, working to fly back into deep water. I'm not working it totally to the boat because of where I am, and throwing it back and just working along the shoreline. And every once in a while you hit a little pot of fish, and then I'll just kind of work my efforts right around there. The takes I'm getting today have been kind of short strikes, tail nippers. Reason why I'm going with, I shifted over to a trailing streamer to see if that would help. But they were getting some short grabs and stuff like that. Very typical popper fishing. Sometimes they'll just eat the thing, sometimes they'll just pull on the tail. But we play around the cadence of the pop. Sometimes it'll be a little fast, sometimes a little slow, just to see, let the fish tell us what they want. And just keep covering that shoreline. In this case, like I said earlier, we're just working the drop-offs. Okay. Whoopsie-daisy. Here we go. Oh, there we got him. Oops, had him. Saw him come out after it. There, whoop, come on, come back, come back. Another one went after it. That one had a hold of it.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
See if his big brother comes back.
Oh, you had something.
Yeah, there's... You gotta pull... There we go. Come here, buddy. Be careful I don't get hooked.
Oh, come on. No, don't do this.
Little Smalley. Got a belly, he's chewing on something.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see your big brother.
Come on, turn.
I wonder if he's already investigated. That fish had investigated me earlier. It was a good sized fish, and
Could
they
be.
got in. Usually they'll.
Oh, there you go.
There we are. On the streamer.
Yeah. He didn't want to. He said, forget you. I'm not
Yeah.
staying in this boat any longer than I have to.
Yep. Well, sometimes you got to give them multiple looks. You know, this clear water we're fishing in, it gives me a chance to no less watch both flies, and I can, and if a fish comes up and looks at it, I can then try to tailor the presentation to the fish behavior, or maybe pick up a clue and how I need to change the, you know, fly or strip braid or what. What I'm noticing here, it's almost varies from, there we go, got a fish coming. There we go. Little Benner.
Hmm.
They're growing up on me.
That they are.
Hold still so I can get a hold of you, buddy. There we are. A little bit better.
Oh.
But once again, this one chased the streamer. Having two flies out, it's kind of like the sum total is better, or I should say the total is better than the sum parts. Now we'll get him back in the water. It's kind of warm today. Sometimes I want the popper, sometimes I want the streamer. Cool. Yep, standing on the fly line.
Well, heck, I put you in a stinking tracker where you got nothing to worry about, and guess what?
Yeah, remember they said about looking for Bigfoot?
Yep, you found it.
Yeah, we know where Bigfoot is. He's right in the boat with us, standing on our fly lines. This is Jay at JPEG Guides and Lost River Fishing. We are a year-round fly fishing catch and release guide service. We fish the Lake Ontario tributaries, and then during the spring and the summer we also fish the inland trout streams, classic dry fly fishing. During the heat of the summer we will do the warm water fishing for bass and pike. If you're interested in any of our outings or have any questions, please feel free to email us at fish@lostriversfishing.com. Hope to hear from you And if you have any questions, feel free to contact us.